Welcome everybody to the Chess Lab. Welcome to Repertoire Mastery episode 16. Finally, after a very long time, I am going back to this series. It was time to do this. I'm going to play some rapid games on Lichess, starting with one, obviously. And from there on, we'll see how many games to play. Now, the goal of this series was to make sure that I respect the repertoire. And the goal was to reach 100 of times, meaning 100 games where the repertoire is respected. However, I think that right now the goal is more just to play chess, try to play some sound chess, and that's as simple as that. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna block the random search and I'm gonna create a random game, 15 plus 10, like this. I've noticed that by doing it this way, I usually find a match relatively quick. The negative aspect of this, of course, is that even lower rated player can accept the challenge, so we may find some lower rated players. However, it already happened to me that players rated even 2400, let's say, here on Lichess Rapid accepts, so that's pretty good. Now, it sounds a little bit weird, but I'm at a point where I have a decently high rating, and I'm playing time control that is not really so well played, so much played, and because of these reasons, it takes a while to find a game, so that's something. Now, this is not the biggest deal in the world, obviously. It's just, we train a little bit of patience. The 15 plus 10 is really ideal to kind of go deeper. But perhaps I may switch to the 10 plus 0, because in the 10 plus 0 you find countless players. The problem of the 10 plus 0 is that it's basically blitz. As a matter of fact, I would argue 5 plus 3 is lower than 10 plus 0, which of course is not true, but also it kind of is in the end. I would say the difference perhaps between 10 plus 0 and 10 plus 5 is really monumental, but also 10 plus 5 is a time control that is not super played. So while this goes, I'm gonna take an ice cream, and I'm gonna be back in a second. Okay, so it seems like still there's no match found. I guess it's gonna take a while. Okay, here we go. Strong opponent, e4, c5, c3, the Alapin, knight f6, e5, knight d5, d4, takes, takes. Now, I already don't remember if my move is knight c6 or d6. I think it's d6. Yeah, I think it is. On knight f3, knight c6, on bishop b5, knight c6, on bishop c4, knight b6. Yes. We are transposing to some more mainline-ish situations. Okay, bishop c4, there is knight b6. This is still theory. Okay, bishop b5 I'm not familiar with. It's not true, I think I can take. If they push, I take it. If they take with the knight, I have bishop d7. I think this is theory, but they lost a tempo somehow. I'm a little bit confused. Still theory if I'm not crazy. Okay, so now I'm in a new position and I have to figure it out. So, material is equal. Imbalances in the position, bishop pair. So white has the bishop pair. Weaknesses. White has a weak d4 pawn. Ideas for me, finishing development. So my move is e6. With the idea bishop e7 to perhaps then go to f6 to target this guy. Also the move e6 is useful because it slows down d5. And after e6 I plan to just play bishop e7, short castle, and then start to attack this guy. e6 castle, bishop e7, d5. I just take, rook e1. I think I'm fine. Queen to g4. Typical move in this kind of setups. If I castle, they want to go bishop h6. I go bishop f6. They go knight e4. I don't like this. So instead I may want to go bishop f6. I don't like much this either, because knight e4 is quite annoying. Well, knight e4 I don't have to take, but maybe taking is fine with e5 to follow, trading queens. So I'm gonna go bishop f6. I'm delaying castle, which I'm not a fan, but if my opponent starts to direct a little bit too much energy on the king side, I may just long castle. The king seems relatively safe on a8. My opponent defends the pawn. What to do? I can play knight d5. I can play a6, takes. I can long castle. I can short castle. I can play g6. I'm gonna play knight to d5. Now, there is the threat of taking, and then I have to take with the pawn, because if I take with the knight, this falls. Unless I play rook g8. But I don't like that, so I'm gonna play a6. I feel like I'm a little bit under pressure, and I want to release it as much as possible. That's my plan. Takes. I still have this weakness. Not a big deal. I definitely misplayed the opening somehow, but I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly how I did it. So I guess his idea is like to take somehow. I would really love to castle. What if I castle? Takes come with tempo, but they can no. If I castle, they take my knight, and then I lose the bishop with check. Is tragedy. I could long castle, perhaps. They may also want to jump in. Do I play knight here? Knight here. Queen here. Doesn't seem too bad. It's because if he takes, I want to be able to like prevent bishop f4, which can be annoying. Also, I'm adding one piece to perhaps the defense of the king side. I feel like my thinking process is not very throughout. It's kind of based on one move threats. On the other hand, I'm not sure. Okay, now if I take here, this follows with a fork. So I'm gonna take with a pawn. That was my idea all along. Attacking the rook and attacking the pawn, but the pawn is not really under attack. So perhaps now is a good time to long castle, maybe. But then this falls. Okay. So that's definitely some interesting situations going on here. I could go here. Then they will take. I will take. They will take here. So I can go here, they take here. I take here, they take here. I'm quite often happy with it. But these rooks hanging, these rooks defending this pawn. I feel like this move is good. They take, then I long castle. I kind of like this. I just realized they can play this. But I can long castle anyways on that. It's a tough position, I misplayed it somehow. But maybe it's not. This should be correct. And queen g4, yeah, queen g4, I don't know how. Perhaps here g6 is the move? G6, bishop g7 is the right way to develop to prevent this queen g4 nonsense. I don't know. Okay, here they can take, but then I go here. It's not clear how to... Okay, well, just king b8 here is not a no-brainer at this point. Check is not available. It's not the simplest position for my opponent either, because there are a little bit of problems. Knight here wouldn't work because of queen takes f8 mate. And knight here wouldn't work because of, well, I don't know. After this, they're probably like, if anything, check and take, if anything. Queen g3 check, okay. Oh, queen g3 check, and I just lose my rook here. Oh, that's terrible. This is really terrible, wow. I'm just lost. I'm just gonna resign. I'm just gonna resign. I don't want to look at the engine. I don't want to look at it. Just give me the PGN. Let's go on chess base, and here we go. So I'm gonna save this game in online games. Okay. So if I close this and I just go on chess base, these are my games. This is like the tournament I just played. This is online games. So let's analyze it. This is all standard theory. I'm not even sure if this is standard theory. Feels like I was doing alright here. Feels like I was really doing alright. Here perhaps to just castle is the good move. Just castle. But I was a little bit afraid of some moves. I don't know why. So let's see what Box says about this. Okay, d6 is the move. These transposes, obviously. Okay, bishop b5 is actually a thing. And this is it. This is actually the end of neither Sicilian, Fressinesh, Vezhnikov, Sicilian. I may actually reactivate this and see what he says about the middle game. Delayed Alapin. This is quick starter, yes. Quick starter, yeah. the only good way to recapture. Black enjoys a pleasant position here as we have a slight better pawn structure. We can continue development with e6, bishop e7, rook d8, and we have very good chances to fight for the win. But queen g4 is a very annoying move. Queen g4 is a very annoying move. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go on Chessable. I'm going to go on Fressinet. Here we go. This is perhaps the most advanced course that I own. This is crazy. And I'm going to go on these three. And I'm going to put in the same moves. e4, c5. Okay, knight f3, knight c6, that's the main. That's like the main way to get to it. And this transposes to what we have seen. Bishop b5. There are a couple of lines here as well. And here knight c3. Okay, as you can see, it goes a little bit further, so let's search course for position. Let's go here. Oh, this is an alternative, knight b6. Oh, this is an alternative, that's interesting. So knight b6, the main move, but here, as we have already committed to d6, white has the extra option of playing bishop b5. Bishop b5, d takes, knight, however, what he says. Nevertheless, this line is perfectly playable for black. Okay, bishop b5 takes, bishop d7, knight takes, queen takes, knight 3, e6, and here they castle. And here a6, interesting. So, what happened in my game, sorry? They play knight c3, like Fressinet says, e6 castle, bishop e7, queen g4. But instead of playing bishop to e7, he plays a6 first. If white wants to save the central pawn, they need to give up their light square bishop. Oh, so, okay, this is an improvement, I guess. Bishop takes, queen takes, rook e1, bishop b4, queen g4, king f8. Followed by h5, and the threat of winning a pawn is always there. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, bishop e7, queen g4, is like perhaps king f8 is the move. Yeah, king f8 is the move here. Castle is theoretical, king f8 is the move. What did I play in the game? I played bishop f6, which is fine. Bishop f6 is fine, but king f8 is not fine, perhaps. So bishop f6, rook d1. Now a6, yeah, a6. Rook c1. No, long castle, please. Short castle is not good because of knight e4, I guess. g6 is not good. It's not an easy position. It's not an easy position. Knight d5 seems fine, I guess. Knight e4. Now a6. a6 is not good. What did I have to play though? Castle. Whew. Castle. Would you play castle in the face of this? Anyway, so this is why I'm making Italian videos lately, is because like this video is in English, but here I would like the comments to be in Italian. So knight c3, e6, bishop e7, queen g4. Forcing white to either give up the bishop pair or hang a pawn, or hang the central pawn. This is perhaps an improvement over what happened in the game. Bishop takes, queen takes, is queen g4 a thing? Now can be answered with g6. So bishop e7, queen g4. A move I didn't expect. It makes finishing my development difficult. Bishop f6, rook d1, knight d5, knight e4, a6, bishop c4, knight e2, e7, knight takes, g takes, queen g7, rook f8, bishop h6. That's pretty bad. Yeah. But okay, I respected the repertoire, so repertoire respected. Perfect. All right. So we learn something new every game. All right, so that was it. Let's keep going. I need games. I need games under my belt. All right, we're playing against 2459. This was found very quickly, very nice. C4. That's so annoying. What's my repertoire against c4? I think it's c6 with the idea of playing d5. My opponent is not going to play d4, that will transpose to d5, that would be too easy. They're going to keep going with the English. Either one of these two moves. And in any case, I'm just going to play d5. Now they could play e4 too, which is like a Panov. A weird version of the Panov. And there are some nasty lines there. Okay, d5, of course. e3. Okay, so I could play knight f6, and after d4, e6, knight c3, we transpose to something I already know, and that's something I'm gonna do. Also, knight f6 is just a developing move, it doesn't hurt nobody. So knight f6 I'm gonna play. Knight c3. Now, if I play e6, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna play d4, because that transposes to something I'm aware of? However, if they don't play d4, on the other hand, if they don't play d4, I'm not sure what they're gonna do. So, okay, they can play b3, obviously. That's like the way to not stay in d4 territory. So what to do here? I'm not sure this position's covered. I'm not sure I'm aware of this position at all. Okay, b3 cannot be too terrible. I guess I'm just gonna develop and perhaps try to play e4, but I don't like those positions too much. Bishop e7 though is a little bit anti-positional, perhaps. Knight bd7 is more flexible. a6 also is quite flexible. Take, if they take I have b5. It's not too bad. I'm gonna play knight b to d7. knight b2 d7, the bishop stays in. I'm gonna play a6. Just gonna play a6. Perhaps taking and play b5, perhaps playing b5 immediately. If d4, I have a feeling we kind of transpose into something I know with c5 or something, but there's no b3 in those lines, and they have already a bishop out. So I'm a little bit struck by surprise. But a6 is a move. Cannot be too catastrophic, I guess. And we're just playing chess. Bishop b2, logical. Now I can play bishop d6, which is very active. And I'm also ready to castle. Is bishop d6 a bad move? I don't feel so. So I'm gonna go bishop d6. If they take, I can even take with a pawn this time, because knight b5 or bishop b5 with some tempi are not available. So let's go. My opponent is thinking, he plays queen c2, queen c2 is typical. Okay, I'm just gonna castle. All these moves are made to kind of waste time in a way, because I don't want to compromise the position of this knight, because as soon as they take, I either take like this and my knight naturally goes to c6, or I take like this, my bishop goes out, and then I move my knight. So I don't have to really compromise my pawn structure on the queen side with things like takes and playing b5, which I'll probably have to do eventually. Okay, they play d4, so now we are in some sort of finally queen's gambit what I'm talking about. Not queen's gambit territory, but like d4, d5 territory, so this is not the English. Now the move that I think is decent here is this, but I'm not sure. I can of course take and play b5. I'm gonna play c5. I'm gonna blast open the position, see what happens. After takes, of course the bishop is undefended, but can they take advantage of it is the question. I'm not sure about that. On my other computer, I'm publishing Repertoire Mastery episode 15. Wait. What am I publishing on the other? Wait, no, this is how to reassess your chess. I'm getting confused. What am I publishing? Yeah, how to reassess your chess, episode 15, okay. So how to reassess your chess, part 15. Here we go. Okay, bishop d3 is played. Now, there are a couple of things I can do. I can take on c4, they take. If they take with a bishop, of course, I can expand, but I can also play knight c6, finishing my development. That can't possibly be too negative of a thing. And I can always take, give them hanging pawns. That's always an option. I'm also threatening these now that I think about it. And I think I'm gonna go for it immediately. Here, they move, I take. Then I take, if they take, open position with the bishop pair. It's not gonna be me who complains. Do I go for it or do I just take? Nah, let me go for it. They allow me to take their bishop pair, I'm gonna do it. They have no tempo winning moves because I just take their queen with check, by the way. And also their queen here is better than here because when I take here, if I take there, I have better control over that square. So okay, pawn takes, opening up my bishop. And the good thing about this move is that not only is not too weakening, it weakens the b6 square a little bit, but it's kind of a decent move. You know, it's not too bad. Okay, now they just castle. They just castle. Now, the e4 square I think is kind of critical. The e5 square is also critical, so what can I do? I can try to like fix the situation here by taking the pawn, but I'm not sure. I can try to play rook to e8, which feels a decent move. I can try to play bishop e6. I can try to play c4, takes, bishop here, but the queen just moves back. Of course, pushing fails to take, check. So this is playable, bishop to e6, but they just move back. And it's not clear what's my compensation against this massive center. So, yeah. Not sure. Not sure. I can try to play b5. To then play bishop b7 and always have that pawn overprotected. I kind of like that idea, but it's difficult to play this position, I feel like. I can play bishop d7, bishop c6. Very banal, yet perhaps effective operation. The problem of this move is that they just gonna take, and take. Take, and they hit the bishop. I have no checks. There is bishop e6, which I kind of like, but knight g5. Maybe I can play queen c7, then hitting this pawn. If they take, I can just take, and I have a kind of decent position somehow. But I'm just gonna play b5. I feel like this is a tactical blunder somehow, but I don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to exploit it, so I'm just gonna play bishop b7. Okay, they take, I take. It's not a big deal thus far. The position is opening up. I'm not crying too loudly here. Also, I'm fighting for the e4 square with b5 because the bishop on b7 looks at that square. Okay, now they are hitting the pawn, they're threatening it, but bishop b7 defends it. And perhaps in a future dimension prepares knight e4, which wouldn't annoy me too much, quite frankly. And now the queen is the first attacker, so there's that problem. The knight moves in, moves here, perhaps to go here. But now I can play the quite energetic knight e4. Is knight e4 a big deal? I can also play d4, but perhaps d4 is just ridiculous. I can play queen to e7, knight here, a rook here, and it feels like my position has no problems. Like no problems at all. And then I have knight here that perhaps frightens some nasty operations there. Queen here looks decent. do I have other ways? Opening up the bishop, but they take with this guy here. I'm gonna play queen e7. Queen e7, I didn't like bishop takes, but I guess if they leave me both bishops, it starts to become quite annoying for them. The queen overprotects the bishop on c5. b4 is disencouraged. Rook d8, rook c8 are coming, which doesn't look too bad. Knight there is a good move. I mean, it's decent, I guess. So rook here, defense. Knight here maybe on the way. Okay, so queen f5. Queen f5 escapes my attention a little bit. Queen f5 escapes my attention a little bit. What are they threatening? Bishop takes? Maybe. But what about knight here? Knight takes. Bishop takes. Rook takes, rook takes. Queen takes. Hitting this gentleman, rook d8. The queen moves where? Here. Takes, takes. And I admit it's annoying. It's not clear. Can I perhaps push? What are they threatening? They're threatening bishop takes. That's an annoying move. I could obviously play bishop here. And then bishop here, but they're just gonna hit me with these anyways. I take, they take, I take. That's pretty terrible. What about e4? Like actually e4. If they take with the bishop, I take, they take like this and they're fine. So knight here, I'm trying to make some sacrifices work. Rook here. And they're hitting this guy. Knight here anyways. Rook here. Yeah, but it never works. Knight here. Bishop here, rook here. Queen here hits this guy. That's so annoying. And after rook here, they can force the trade of queens. Takes. There's that knight there. So annoying. Am I missing something in my calculations? Perhaps I have g5 in the end. Gonna have to try to go for it, at least I'm active. Like Silman says, at least you try to be active, you know. Can't be too catastrophic, I guess. And knight takes comes with tempo on the queen, it's very annoying. And rook takes comes with the tempo on the bishop, that's also very annoying. And then queen takes comes with the tempo on the rook. It's like crazy. Queen f4, crazy move. How did they find queen? How did they find queen f5? That's crazy. Like all these patterns that I'm completely like unfamiliar with. I've never seen anyone play queen f5. That means like people are getting stronger here. Yeah, that's the line I saw. I don't really see anything better than this. And hopefully I'm not missing anything like catastrophic, because it could be. I'm expecting queen e5, but if I miss something, I miss something. Here I think I have this threat, but I could also be wrong. Like queen e5, you know. Tough. I thought I have some play, but I don't know. I thought I had some play. I'm just down a pawn. It's not the worst down a pawn, but I'm down a pawn. I don't know what he's hesitating for. Like, queen here threatens mate, the queen, the knight threatens everything. Can I have to react? And you're up a pawn, bro. Like, and then you're gonna play bishop d4. Like, takes here, bishop d4 is just, yeah. Okay, so far so good. Yeah, of course. Of course. Very bad position for me, very bad position. Now my idea was to play g5 originally, to try to kick this knight out. And that may still be my plan. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. Trying to infiltrate over to the second rank. Bishop here or knight here, of course, are quite annoying moves. Even though f6... f6 may give me some hope. But of course, bishop there, obviously. Now what about this push here? They take. And I can take here perhaps. These will fail to these, I think. Maybe. It's complicated. Is this bishop really great? It probably is. Can I take it? But then the knight's fantastic. But then I try to enter the other file, maybe. But I can't because the knight controls the enter square. Never mind. So I'm just gonna try to deflect him from the control of the central squares. It's simple as that. Okay, they take. Now I can take. If they take back, I take their bishop, I'm up a piece. So take, they have to go back. But then I take here, perhaps. They just take with the king. And what I've achieved? Apparently nothing. Apparently nothing. If I take instead, they reach this beautiful square. It's just bad. I'm just gonna take here. Because why not? But it's not looking too good for me, I guess. But okay, I can do something like this perhaps and try to dislodge the bishop from d4. I mean, you know. Okay, now I'm gonna take, and here, okay, no, here I have a couple of, oh, he doesn't care. I was about to say that again. There was some problems if they allow me rook c8, but they don't. They do not allow me that. So what if I go here? They have to take, I guess, then I go here, maybe. They go here though, and I have problems defending everything. Yeah, I'm basically just lost here, but, you know. You try, you always try. I feel like there may be some moves that allow me to not lose on the spot, but I'm not sure what we're talking about here. They take. Now I attack this guy. Bishop here is strong. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, if I leave this, there's check. And I'm dead. There's mate. So I kind of have to go behind the pawn, which is super passive, but... tough. Just keep getting outplayed. Keep getting outplayed in everything. In everything. Lost the pawn, try to do something, there's nothing. Just completely over. Now I play a5, trying to find some counterplay, but it's not clear how to generate it. a4. Perhaps b4 first. If they do this, what happens? I don't know. b4 first, but they go behind the pawn, and this guy cannot be defended. But I have to do it, because if I don't do it, it's just what do I do? Now a4 is a thing, perhaps, maybe. But not really, because even if they do nothing, let's say, it's my turn to move, and there's nothing. So I'm gonna try to reach this square, perhaps, with my king. If I'm able to get here and play this, perhaps, but they're gonna go here threatening this, just... I never have anything. I never have anything. Ever. Now they're fixing a weakness, all they have to do is, if they win this pawn, of course they win the game, very nicely. Now I can't even move a little bit. But now they're threatening this square, which is not controllable by... It's controlled by my knight. They can play f4 perhaps. They go there. Yeah, they just go there. Oh, they just go there, of course. It's so annoying. Yeah, there's nothing I can do, really. There's nothing I can do. They're just gonna take a pawn. I'm gonna play knight c5, trying to take, and then I push this guy, but they control it, so I lose anyway, so I resign. Keep getting outplayed. There's not much to be said. Is this game here? Yeah. Just keep getting outplayed. It's like I'm not even making big mistakes, it's just I can do nothing. Skill issue, I'm not that good. Okay. So let's see if I follow the repertoire, which I have big doubts about, because this is like some English shenanigans, which... Is this the game Show Rag? Yeah. So disappointing. I feel like I can't do anything. It's very, very tough. Very, very tough, all I can say. So c4, c6, okay, I played that right. Knight f3, d5, e3, knight f6, okay, so far so good. Knight c3, a6. I played a6, I think I played it later though. Yeah, should have played a6 here. a6. So I didn't respect the repertoire here. Okay, and here queen c2 or b3. b3 probably what would have happened. And as soon a6 switched the tempo, so on b3 they can play bishop f5. Of course. So this will be Solon's repertoire. The idea is that on b3, black now quote-unquote wasted a tempo with a7, a6, so we can go. Bishop f5. Yeah, and of course this changes everything. on queen c2, which really tries to delay things. Now there is e6. And here it says d4. But what if they play b3 here? Bruh. What if they play b3 there? Come on. That would transpose to the game. And this is a game? This is not even... It's not even theory. It's not even theory. What about b3? Mysterious. Mysteries, mysteries, mysteries. Okay. Well, there was a difference here, a6. They played e6. I didn't play bad. It's just my opponent played perfect chess. Like nothing I could do. Queen c2, castle, d4, c5, maybe c5, but no, but looking at the evaluation, it's like perfectly playable. It's just, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Maybe b5 is the wrong idea. Maybe I should have tried to develop more naturally with other moves, like is b5 bad? b6 it says. b6 perhaps to keep the hanging pawn structure instead of... Black is slightly better even. And after b5, this is perhaps wrong. b6 takes. Perhaps keeping the hanging pawns structure was more appropriate rather than the IQP. But I have no idea. I really have no idea. Perhaps with the bishop pair, a little bit more flexibility, the knights are restricted. Yeah, I kind of like this position more than this position, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Obviously. And my opponent just played absolutely perfect chess from there on. Nothing much to be said. It wasn't too difficult, to be fair, but... Now black, despite the bishop pair, is stuck with the IQP. In what seems to be unfavorable circumstances. The position is very difficult, and in the game, white played very well. All right. So repertoire not respected. And that's pretty much it. No. Oh. I have to do it here. Here we go. Perfect. Save. Online games. Okay. And I have my games here. Oh, I played against this guy 2 times in a row. Wait, I saved it 2 times? Is this the same game? This is the same game. I saved it 2 times. I didn't want to save it 2 times. I want to delete it. How do I do it? Yeah, here we go. How do I delete it though? I really want to delete it, but you can't. This is something I always found annoying. I don't know how to really delete a game. It's annoying. Very annoying. That's so annoying. Okay, well, let's keep going. So, all right. Let's go. Let's go again. Third game. You know, this is the grind. This is the grind. It's not funny. It's not very exciting, but it's the grind. Okay, finally a white game. Knight f3. d5, g3. This is still theory. We are on move 2, but it's not granted. Knight f6, bishop g2. Bishop f5, castle. And h6. Okay, h6 is a move that I'm not too familiar with, but I'll stick with my plan, which is c4, trying to get my queen to b3 to attack b7. If they take, I have knight a3, and I'm just gonna get the pawn back. So that's my plan. That's the way I intend to proceed. They play e6 to defend. Okay, now queen b3 hits the b7 pawn. Now they don't have c6, queen b6 because they wasted a tempo on h6. So they have to play queen c8. The negative aspect of this move is that once I develop my pieces, in somewhat decent squares I guess, rook c1, one or the other, may come, and it may be annoying. Now, how do I proceed here? I kind of want to play d4. I kind of want to play d4 here, because the idea of playing bishop b3 to hit the queen doesn't exist anymore. Of course, I wanted to play d3, but I'm not sure how appropriate this is. Not sure how appropriate this is, you know? I can also just take. They take. And then I play d3 to restrict their pieces. And then I play knight here, which attacks this guy. And then they defend it. And then I play bishop somewhere. But it's not clear where. Perhaps just to d2. And then I bring my rooks in. I may do that. Is d4 necessarily better? I'm just gonna do that. I'm just gonna open this file for my rooks in the future. And I'm just gonna have that. If they take with the knight, I may just play d3 with already a threat of e4, and d3 I want to play anyways. But okay, they play like this. I can of course play d4. Of course. But I feel like I'm gonna play knight c3. Comes with tempo, attacks this guy, cannot be pushed because I just take it. So I kind of like that. c6 to defend. But now c5 will lose a tempo. So I can play d3 or I can play d4. I like d3. It's very harmonious. Restrict this bishop and this knight. Because the square is now controlled. The diagonal is a little bit locked. e2 is a little bit of a weakness, obviously, but that's something we're used to. I'm threatening e4, I think, here. Takes, 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 takes here. f5 knight here or something. Gaining back the pawn with attack. All my pieces are active. Bishop pair. I think that's a move. On bishop d6, I'm definitely going for it. On bishop e7, though, I'll think about it. Perhaps knight e4 is strong. There are many tempting moves. Feels like this position is under control. Yeah, bishop e7, of course. So e4, takes. Rook e1. Rook e1. I don't know. I'm gonna go with my original idea of bishop d2. Can't be too catastrophical. And then rook to c1 is gonna be a thing. Or rook f to c1. No, rook a to c1. The other rook goes to e1, trying to play for e4 on the next move. Once they move the queen, losing a nice tempo. Well, that would actually hang this guy. Oh, knight to c5. Oh, I missed that. Knight c5. Well, I missed that. Bullshit! Remember what Silman says in the previous video? This is bullshit. This is nothing. This is a ridiculous move. This is a ridiculous move. What is knight c5? It's crazy. He's just adding a piece in the direction of this. Crazy, ridiculous move. Ew. I'm just gonna go to c2. I'm just gonna go to c2 and then boom. b4, a3, e4. Catastrophical move. What is he doing? What's doing? Okay, perhaps d1. No, but d1 undefends this, so I'm gonna go here. Ridiculous. Never seen a move this bad. Oh. I don't know if Silman intended this exact way of thinking, but ew. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Ugly. Ew. Maybe Silman didn't intended this, but what is knight c5? One move threat. Ugh. Take this. And gaining space with tempo. Ridiculous. What you doing? Yeah, moving the queen out, wasting a tempo. Congratulations. Yeah, definitely Silman was talking about terrible sportsmanship, of course. So b4, kicking the knight away. Kicking it away. Where do you go? You go back? Well, this is taken away. This is the worst move I've ever seen. Perhaps knight here. Then there is this, but then knight here comes with tempo. Okay. It's not so easy. Perhaps there's also this. So rook e1 is perfect, because now we are threatening this. Take, yes. And on bishop here I go back. So rook e1, perfect. To push. There are some issues in the position for me. I really need this knight to get out. And after this I just play a3. Very important. Because if I play this immediately, take, right? There is a knight here. I'm not saying it's a big deal, but it's kind of annoying. So let me get this knight out of the way. I just play a3. And now I'm gonna go with e4. Well, that helps me, I guess. I can't win a piece because my queen's pinned, but you're kind of helping me, man. Yeah, not winning a piece yet, but damn, almost. Can I go knight h4 here? Wait, though. No, knight h4 doesn't threaten to win the piece. But what does? Knight h4, because queen here seems decent, but I can't just win my bishop then. Can I go here? They just take? Nah. Knight here, they waste another tempo. Now I'm threatening. I'm gonna go knight h4. Think. I have all the time in the world. Think. So, let's evaluate the position. 6 pawns each, bishop pair, so material is equal. The center semi-open. There is pressure on my e4 pawn. There is potential threat of e5. Playing knight h4 actually plays into a lot of imbalances. So first of all, I'm threatening to win the bishop pair. Then also, I'm opening up my light square bishop. Then also, I'm trying to fix the pin. And also there is a tactical threat, which is to take the bishop and then play e5. And if they address it, I take the bishop and that's it. So I'm not disliking it. Also now my pawn's overprotected, so after the bishop move I can move my queen, renewing the threat of e4. However, here we are transposing in positions that I've already seen, and the plan is to play f4. The plan is not to go into some sort of shenanigans. The plan is actually to play something like h3, f4. But there's never that annoying pin, like actually. So yeah, perhaps I want to move the queen. Or my knight, or my bishop. There are quite a lot of pieces that are in the way. Yeah, bishop h7, I mean, what happened that? Bishop h7, do I play f4? Do I play f4? Do I play rook d1? Rook c to d1 seems decent. Rook c to d1 seems very decent, actually. Rook c to d1 seems very, very decent because my idea is bishop f4. Bishop f4 is annoying. And my pawn is overprotected, so there are no problems yet. g5 is a move, but I just move my knight to f3 and they may have some issues. So now I can play knight f5, takes, and where do they go? Where are they going? Where are they going? I like it a lot. Holy if I like it. Liking this a lot. Liking this a lot. Queen here is not playable. Okay, in fact. Okay, now they still have this on the c5, which is not a problem anymore, but still. Now what do I do? We have a bishop open, we have many things going on. I think rook back to c1 actually is a move. Threatening b5, I think. Some sort of crazy shenanigans going on. I could also play... Not sure, because bishop here, there is knight here, and then I have bishop here, which is not bad, but... Perhaps I fucked it up a little bit. Rook here I like. Threatening some b5 shenanigans. Why not? Weakness is a little bit of everywhere. Not complaining much about it. Is b5 a threat? I think it is. Ooh, they moved the knight to a very active square. I would love to see this. But now knight b5 comes. Yeah, knight b5 is just a shocker. Knight b5 is just a shocker now. Typical pattern. Which in the past I was reluctant to play. But now it turns out it's just a great move. So... it's just very good to play. I'm gonna win the bishop pair if anything, but there's also b5 in the end. Oh, b5 is a shocker. After they move like here, it's not even clear, right? And there's b5. They cannot take because these hangs. It's just so brutal. Okay, but this is also not nice, because how do you defend b7? You know, it's very difficult. It's just very difficult. It's a very tough position. It's a very tough position, my friend. Now the question is, how do I clean this up? How do I clean this up? I have the bishop pair. Material is equal, but I can start to make some brutalization. Is that a word? On the queen side. I can take here. The knights attack. They may go here. Then I go here, hitting this guy as well, trying to go here. I think I'm gonna go for it. Okay, I'm trying to be active all of a sudden. Can I go here? They go here, I go here. They take here. And... Well, it looks brutal, if anything. Here, here, here. Looks pretty brutal. Let's go. Looks brutal enough for me to try it. I mean, they get a pawn on the edge of the board, and I get massive initiative. So I'm not sure I see what the problem is here. Yeah, it's just over, I think. Unless they defend the knight with the rook, or they go back with the knight, but doing so, it's basically an admission of absolute and utter failure of the strategy, whatever that is. Yeah, that's so bad. Because now I take, they take, and then I go here. And I'm threatening check and going here, and it's over. I think I'm gonna go for the simplification. And this bishop is just overwhelmingly superior to the knight. It's just brutal, absolutely brutal. Don't have to go for the rook, don't have to go for the pawn, don't have to do nothing. All I have to do is win. Quite simple. Quite simple, really. Quite simple. Damn. Is this winning though? I'm not sure. They can sacrifice the exchange, but... So takes, fork, check. They can go here, then I take here. No, actually I can attack their knight, they go here. It's complicated still. I can of course take, but that feels a little bit off. I'm just gonna do this. I have check in the end. I have check. Wow, that's just crazy. Now I go here. And mate in 2 is coming, I think. Yeah, they resign. I could have also just taken here, there's mate in 2 anyways. Yeah. Okay. Let's copy it. And let's save it. Okay. So, I don't know if I follow the repertoire here. Well, they went out of the repertoire, so... Hold on. Okay. F3, D5, H6. Would have transposed to Solon's repertoire. C4, E6, Queen B3, in C8, C takes. Yeah, I mean, you can't really criticize too harsh anything I've done here. Yeah, here according to the engine, black is doing okay. But I like the way I played. I was never like losing or anything, and my position was practically more convincing. I like this little swish of the rooks. And this is over, kind of. Rook takes. Knight here. Yeah, here just... it's a nice conversion. It's a nice conversion. I mean, here you realize that you will be able to infiltrate if they take the pawn. And it's just over here. Taking was probably more resilient. Rook takes and knight here. Doesn't really work for a multitude of reasons. You can check here, or, well, that's wrong. Or you can also take here. That's pretty much it. And that's it. Yeah, rook h8, you can just take here, and it's just over. Yeah, here is considered a mistake simply because it's perhaps not forced mate by sacrificing quadrillion amount of material, probably. Don't even know how black saves himself like this. Like, what? Isn't it forced mate? Okay, you can move the rook, obviously, instead of taking here. If you move the rook, I just move my bishop, and it's really, like, super... Oh no, actually, bishop takes threatens mate, but also if the rook moves, he's still mate because the king cannot go to g8. Okay, bishop here is just... It's just probably... Well, not necessarily, actually. Well, I win a pawn. It is winning, but... Yeah, bishop here. I would have played bishop there, not because of the mate, but because of winning material. Okay, save. Alright. Okay, so I follow the repertoire. Sometimes I follow the repertoire, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just forget. How can I delete forever something from the database? I'm gonna search it. How to delete a game from a database in ChessBase. Menu, maintenance, remove deleted games. What? How do you do it? Here? Oh shoot, what happened? It did. That's how you do it. Let's go. I've done it. That's great. Thanks, Google. Okay, let's keep going. Let's play again. I've played quite a few games today. But that's what holidays are for. Playing chess, playing more chess, and playing more chess, and playing more chess. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these games. I feel like I'm taking it quite chill. I'm not getting mad at games that I lose somehow. It's also essential you don't get mad at games you lose, because if you want to improve, you have to play many games in many structures. And in order to do that, when you do that, if you do that, you're going to lose many games. And so the only way to improve is to play many games in many different structure, and if you do that, you will lose many games, so the only way to improve is to be able to handle losing many games. Also because after you play a game in one of these weird structures and you lose it, because you're not familiar with them, you don't know them, skill issue, whatever, the next game, of course, you're going to be a little bit more tired, but you have to try at your best to keep your energies as high as possible, and also your anger levels as low as possible, because that influences your performance. And despite they're just training games and you are willing to lose them because that's part of the game, if you are stressed or you're angry, you will have a worst starting session. And this goes for 2 dimensions. First of all, your experience. If you're mad, if you're angry, it's just gonna be worse. It's just gonna be worse. Okay? But also your playing quality, obviously. Obviously, you want to try to play at the best of the possibilities, obviously. Okay, so I'm waiting for a new game to start. Where is my water? Here is my water. I'm gonna drink some water. Keeping myself hydrated. I'll probably have to wake up and go to pee after this because, you know. Okay. So yeah, the 2100 feels like they can't, at least here on Chess, which is like, I don't know, 1600 FIDE. It's crazy, man. Like 1600, 1500 FIDE, they're like 2100, 2200 on Chess. People my rating FIDE are like much stronger. They're like 2500 on Chess. You know, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know, it's like my OTB strength is so much higher than even Lichess Rapid, which makes sense, but it's interesting that I differ so much from quite a few of the players I know. It's just interesting. It's just something you notice. Okay, so waiting for the game as usual. Can you guys see everything? Yes. Oh, you guys cannot. Oh, you cannot see. Oh, you cannot see ChessBase. Oh, when I go on ChessBase, you see nothing. Oh, that has to be so bad. I'm sorry, guys, but now you can see, right? Yeah, now you can see. Okay. D4, D5. I'm sorry, you guys cannot see ChessBase. Oh, when I go on ChessBase, you cannot see it. I realize it now. It must have been quite bad for you guys. Sorry for that. Well, you're probably not here. You all left the video. Reasonably, too. We're playing against a 2200, so it's a decent opponent. G3. Everyone is playing this. Everyone's playing this. I'm gonna study this after this game. Everyone plays this, bro. Everybody. It's crazy. Crazy. They all play this. Like all of them. All of them. Okay, this guy plays bishop to g2, so I think I can get away with e6. And on knight c3 now there is h6. Okay, castle. On this I think bishop e7, very chill is the move. Not sure though. There is a whole chapter in Solon's course dedicated to this type of positions, and it's just everyone plays this. Like what? I'm not gonna take back the move. I'm gonna take my victory. Thank you for not even asking. But that's weird. That's weird. That's weird. So, yeah. So, okay. Now, very short game, but this gives us the opportunity to study these positions a little bit. Because unfortunately, yeah, that's crazy. Like 2200 rapid playing queen c2 is crazy. That's crazy. And that's not a mouse slip. This is just insane. This is crazy. Maybe you wanted to play queen b3? Because queen b3 is topical in these positions. Maybe it's actually a mouse flip. Yeah, maybe it's actually a mouse flip. Well, alright, I'll take my 10 points. Or how many they are. I need those points for the next games when I'm gonna lose against the 2400s again. Game is game. Alright. So let's go on Solon, a repertoire. And I'm not going on this screen, I'm going on another screen. Because I'm gonna share with you guys all the information needed. But yeah, this is like a little bit of a weird chapter. So I'm gonna browse 3. I know you can't see this now, so don't worry guys, I'm gonna talk it out. So d4, right, d4, d5, and here c4, c6, knight f3, knight f6. Let me also update this on my other screen. And here g3. Bro, everyone and their dog, their uncle, their grandmother, like everyone is playing this. It's not even like... It's crazy, bro. Why is everyone playing this? This is crazy. It's like the Catalan or something. Knight f3 with g3, yeah. Part 1 and 2. Yeah. So there are a couple of lines that Solon shows here. So bishop f5, I'm gonna read you the... So this is theory. White's setup is on the slower side, which gives us time to develop the bishop outside the pawn chain. This is the simplest way to get a good position. Knight c3, White's ambitious move. Indeed. So, bishop f5, bishop g2, knight to c3 is the other move. Now e6, because the problem is you would love to, because, okay, so what's the point? Here there is the e4 square, which is free. So if knight to h4, you have bishop e4, right? Now you have it anyways, but if knight c3, you would really love to play h6, because after knight h4, you don't want to go here because they can just take you. However, if you play h6 now, since they added the knight to the pressure of this pawn, they can play queen b3 with or without c takes d5 first. And you're just going to lose one of the pawns, you're going to have tremendous problems on every square, it's a problem. So because of these reasons, you have to support d5, because this added pressure to it. So you have to play e6. You really have to play e6. And... okay, so once you play e6, now they go for it. Knight h4. If they don't play it, now that you have secured the central d5 square, you can play h6 and your bishop's safe. But they're gonna go for it. And now, of course, you can just go here and just lose it, but you play bishop e4. Now, if they take with the knight, there are ideas of you even taking with the pawn, and then this knight is kind of misplaced. You know? May even get trapped or go to g2. Like if bishop g2, you would get trapped. Like, for example, takes, bishop g2, this traps the knight. It doesn't, actually, but that's an idea. Didn't even realize that. But okay, after bishop e4, the move is f3. This is theoretical. You go back. Promote. And this position's crazy. This position's crazy because here, main move by Solon is queen b3, right? At which is follows queen b6. I'm just showing you the line here. Knight takes g6. White remembers that there is a bishop there. H takes, opens up the file. This is all theoretical. Now c5. Takes. And now knight a6. Knight a6. With the idea like the knight goes here or goes here. And it has a life. The knight has a life. However, I've been playing some games and they don't play queen b3, which is very topical. I know that you can say typical, but I'm saying topical on purpose. A lot of players, they do this immediately. And I guess queen b3, queen b6, c5 transposes, but they go with e4. They go with e4. And here, the best way to reply is, I learned this the hard way because I reply bishop here, I got crushed. The best way to reply is this. If they take with the knight, they're kind of giving away the center a little bit. So they take with the pawn. And here, e5. e5 is a strong move. The game's equal here. Okay? And if they take, pushing is best, at which bishop c5 is a move. To try to go to d4. If they take, there is queen takes. If they take with a knight, they lose the pawn. So they take with the king. But now knight to g4, attacks the pawn, threatens the fork, and you regain the pawn. Right? That's why it's tactically justified. Now all of this is not in Solon's course. Again, the move knight takes g6 followed by e4 is not in Solon's course. In Solon's course, the only line from this position goes queen b3, and that's it, okay? So we have some theory here, some theory that I wanted to throw at you, not randomly, hopefully you understood the ideas. Now, there's one more line that Solon shows after g3, so we have to go a long way back, okay? Which is bishop g2, obviously. Because he says, okay, knight c3 is the most ambitious, okay, thank you very much, but bishop g2, which is what happened in the game, so I don't know if I follow theory. After bishop g2, I played e6, which is theory. Now, Castle's theory, bishop e7, yes, I remember it correctly. And here, well, knight c3 would have been Solon's course, and here h6. Obviously, to finally give the bishop the escaping square. And now queen to b3. So queen b3 here has this weird g3 knight h4 inserted. Now it's more clean, so it's perhaps an improvement for white. Queen b6 c5 again. And there is a weird line here where basically you just castle. Now what's the point? The point is that white goes b4 and white is all happy. White is saying, wow, I'm about to go b5 no matter what, because if you play a6, I'm going to go b5 anyways, and you cannot take with the a pawn, and if you take with the c pawn, I mean, it's great, right? But black plays a6 anyways. Now there is b5 anyways, and white's all happy. C takes, knight takes, and again, you cannot take because you will lose the rook. That's the whole point. You will lose an exchange, but of course you will lose the game. But here there is knight c6. That's the tricky part. That's why, this is Solon's idea, obviously. That's why you delayed the development of the knight. You don't play knight d7, you don't play knight a6, you just very chill. You got that c6 square. So your idea was to allow white to play b5, so you could take with the c pawn to get the c6 square for your knight, which is very natural. The line doesn't end there. Knight c3, knight d7 back. Knight d7 back. b6 is coming, breaking white's bind on the queen side, and along with it, any claim white could have had to an edge. This is like some Solon shenanigans. Sorry. So knight c3. Queen c2 I want to give it like... I have to give it a double question mark. I mean, what is this? Would have been Solon covered line. Okay, I mean, queen c2 is a blunder, bishop takes. Age is winning. Black wins. It's over. Save. Okay. GG. Okay, so we saw a little bit of theory. Yeah, that was a game, man. That was a game. That was a game for sure. Okay, let's go again. I'm really having fun in like playing and put it in chess base, which you didn't see. Oh, you can't see chess base. Why am I so... Bro, you can't see chess base. Did I write down repertoire followed? No, I didn't. So let me do it now. I know you cannot see it, but I know it now, so... Repertoire followed. Okay. Okay, knight f3, of course. I don't look for 1 second and the game starts. So knight f3. We're playing against Scacco Gatto 3. I said 3 like 3 in Italian because this is Italian. You can translate it with check, cat 3. That's what it means. The gatto is like the animal cat. So c5, g3. I've been playing this structure recently as well. Knight c6, I think the theory goes bishop g2. If d5 we transpose to yet other structures, but g6, yep, indeed. And I don't remember here what to do. I think castling is fine. And after bishop to g2, like c4, somehow. But I don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember what to do here. I think c4. Because I remember there was this symmetrical English type of thing. This is like reverse English. Is in Solon's chapter. Yeah. Yeah, but now what? Damn, I don't remember. Knight c3, I feel like. But they can just play d5. Did I misplay this? I don't remember. I really don't remember. Yeah, I mean, I cannot play d4 because I just lose a pawn, but what else is there for me to do? I don't remember. What was supposed to do here? Am I supposed to play? What am I supposed to do? Like, what? I don't know. Like e3, d4? Because I'll do it, but it feels wrong. Really feels wrong. I don't know what am I supposed to do in this type of positions. I'm gonna go for e3, d4, I don't care. I'm gonna go for it, but... definitely not the type of positions that... No, that's wrong. What I just played is wrong. I must have gone wrong somewhere. But okay, I'm trying to play for this d4 square that is controlling so well. And that's kind of my idea. You know? It's not really rocket science. That's just what I'm trying to do. It's just what I'm trying to do. Queen b6 is interesting, but... I don't know. I don't know. Many things are interesting, actually, here. Okay, d5. I can play d4, but I'm gonna take and play d4, trying to get the isolated pawn. I'm gonna get it myself, though. Let's go. Let's see. They can close down the position. I definitely misplayed it, but after they close it down, I may have e4 somehow. Wait, I have e4 immediately. But then I lose d4, but then my diagonal gets open. And then things are complicated. And then check, I gave back the pawn. I don't know what's going on. That's the ultimate conclusion. I don't know what's going on. I'm banking on them taking, which is not even clear what it achieves. But, well, I guess if they take, then my bishop is more optimally placed, perhaps. Because it's pressuring nicely d5 together with my knight, queen b3, and the position becomes difficult. So probably taking is not good, probably c4 is good. But then b3, then b3, then b3. Maybe other moves. If they do nothing, I may take myself. Okay, maybe my position is not so bad here. So maybe this is not catastrophical. And notice how I tend to go fast in the opening, because like if I play it well, I play it well. If I don't play it that well, I'm just going to try to play the middle game. And I'm playing fast in general. But I like this. I guess I have to start to look at rapid games like Blitz, except if there are some positions that I find interesting, I take my like couple of minutes. It's a relatively healthy way to approach it, I guess. But I don't know. My opponent's thinking, obviously, taking his time. That's absolutely fair. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, on d takes c, if it's my turn again, I play d takes c5, but that's ridiculous because, no, it's not ridiculous that I was afraid of this trade. Being afraid of that trade is ridiculous. So, okay, take. Now these hangs, they can play this perhaps, which is interesting. Oh no, knight here, there is rook here. Damn. Okay. So what to play? Queen here, bishop here, for instance. So, knight here is an idea. Now, can I do something about it? Not sure. There is bishop here, but obviously they just play f6, which is a weakness. And then I can go bishop to f4, arguing I made them create a weakness. Then knight here, and I can just take it. Oh, and they don't win this pawn! I'm a genius. They don't win this pawn because by playing f6 the bishop's locked. Bro, I'm playing some moves here. I'm playing some moves. Okay, but these I don't like. Here I can just take. Or can I? Okay, so here I'm gonna try... Well, here I'm gonna play rook e1 first. Rook e1. Why rook e1? Well, rook e1... rook e1 I think is a good move. I think I already have threats. I have threats like take. I could have done that on the previous move. Couldn't I have just done that? But then they could take, rook here, I have to go back, rook takes, it's just, nah. Okay, so I have to, very important, okay, I learned this in the past. I learned this in the past, and of course I may be missing tactical shots, but I learned this in the past. Don't win the isolated pawn. Don't win it. Don't win it. Use it as a round around for your other pieces. Okay, but don't win it. Just don't win it directly. You don't have to win it directly. Just use it to your advantage. Okay? Okay. Okay, so queen d2. I want to like di fianchetto this bishop or something. Something like that. So queen d2 I like. I mean, this guy is still pinned. Awkward. This pawn still weak. Awkward. Overprotecting these guys. Queen b6 not scary. Queen b6 loses, I think, to this shot. If they take, I just take. They have some counterplay, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I have more counterplay. I don't know. But, yeah, queen b6 fails, that's interesting. Does it though? I think it does. Yeah, I think it does. All right. Yeah. So, what to talk about? What to talk about? Queen d7. Queen d7 is a slightly reasonable move. No, it's bullshit. Queen d7 is bullshit. Remember, when your opponent plays a move, remember, it's bullshit. Just saying. No, it's actually bullshit because it's worse than now I can take. They take with a queen and knight takes. Thank you very much. Strong initiative. I take, they take with the rook, knight takes. If they take with the queen, they lose the queen, they do this, boom, with tempo. With tempo, baby. With tempo. That's one option. But so I can win a pawn, but they're gonna take back a pawn, and I lose the bishop pair. And it's like, really? So I'm not too convinced. I can go for it, obviously. Maybe it's my last chance to go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I wanna see what happens. I'm just gonna go for it. Why not? Maybe they blunder, maybe they do something that is not correct. Somehow. Yeah. So now I can win this guy. How do I do this? With the bishop or with the knight? I'll probably do it with the bishop. Yeah. Maybe I'm blundering. Maybe like they win the game somehow. But I'm not. But if they take with the bishop, I'm gonna take the bishop pair back. At least there's that. I may win a pawn in the end of everything, but I'm not sure. Also, something that is important is to have the more active pieces outside of every consideration. I may play rook e5, take, and I have f6. I don't know. I mean, knight f6, now like rook here defends, take, and if they don't take, I go here, but they take. Ugh. Why these good moves? But now I can play knight f4, and now I can play knight f4. And knight f4 is annoying. Knight f4 is annoying, it's creating some weaknesses. Knight f4 is annoying. Oh yeah, knight f4 is annoying. I'm gonna play knight f4. Knight f4 is an annoying move, I guess. Is it? I can play queen here. Nah, knight f4. Knight f4, queen takes. Queen takes, bishop takes, knight takes. I mean, strong bishop, but They're gonna lose b7, e6 weak. Well, f4 is a little bit annoying. If they play this, I think I'm just gonna play d5. Unfazed. Okay, they take. Normal. Well, I guess bishop takes is kind of called for. Thinking in unusual circumstances here. Yeah, bishop here, I don't think it works. But who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? Yeah, it definitely doesn't work. Yeah, they're finding themselves in positions that are not necessarily the easiest to handle, but they're gonna have a weakness. So material is gonna be equal, but they're gonna have a weakness. Opposite color bishop endgame, a weakness. A weakness. One weakness, all you need. Losing with me. Possibilities, even if it's opposite bishop endgames. What a singer. No, really, what a singer. What a singer. What a singer, yeah. Okay, so after rook b1, are they forced to play like... Nah, they can go here. They can go here, I take, they go here, double attack. Annoying. I guess I can go here, but they can do the construction with this bishop here. So they can do the construction with the bishop. Okay, so I'm gonna take here, I guess. Take here, I guess, is fine. I guess. Maybe a rook here even. Do I have to play rook f1 in that case? Take, king here, f4. They go here. Now I go here. Take, there is rook a4. I was kind of banking on that, but maybe looking at it now is not that impressive, but maybe it is. I don't know, it's just a way to go into this endgame. It's probably objectively equal, but I'm trying. All I'm saying is that I'm trying, you know. It's like, can I try? Oh no, also, takes. There is check. Ah, and I'm winning the pawn, plus the weaknesses. So I'm playing for something. Okay, in fact, they don't do it. They don't do it. But now I have this, right? I think I do. I'm not disliking this too much. I'm not at all. I'm not at all. And I may just run my pawn up the board, if allowed. My king as well. So this is a very interesting, fascinating endgame. Feels like it's a little bit easier to play for me. It feels like. Is it actually easier to play for me? I don't know. But, yeah. So perhaps they want to play rook to d8. Do they? Do they want me to do that? Okay, I'm just gonna move up my pawn on a light square. Unassailable to these pieces thus far. Okay, now they create a weakness on the dark square. The problem is it's not easy to get to it. But who am I to not try and get it anyways? Who am I to not try and get it anyways? f3. But I don't like his king entering the position. So what do I play? How do I go about it? Okay, I'm gonna play this. It feels like a chill move. Perhaps playing rook c8, perhaps not. You don't know. Maybe I play it, maybe I don't play it. How do you know if I play or I don't play it? You can't know it. You can't. You just can't. You cannot know it if I play it or not. You cannot play it. Well, you can, but you don't know if I do. Okay, so it's an equal endgame. It's an equal endgame, but he has a weakness, a couple. More passive pieces. Is that a plan to win? Oh, maybe this is my plan to win. Oh, maybe, this looks interesting. But they just push. They just push, check. They go here, obviously, they're not retarded. But okay, their bishop's a little bit passive. Life is good. They're threatening to check, but it's not clear how to continue after that. So here, perhaps. Maybe yes. Maybe yes. Yeah, just a draw. What if I do this, though? They cannot push the pawn for this very brief moment. For this very, very brief moment in history, they cannot do that. Here. Oh, I'ma do it. I'ma do it even if it don't work. Check, obviously, but I move. I'ma do it even if it don't work. A rook here, though, is a move. Not flashy, but it does the job, maybe. Or rook here. You know. But then I have this. But then this. Then this, then this. Then it's not clear. Okay, I go there, of course. Okay, I can go here, I guess. They go here. Then I go here, they go here. Interesting. Let's win a tempo. Let's go here, let's win a tempo. It's a dangerous position, though. It's a dangerous position, this one here. But let's improve the king. Let's improve the position of the king. Let's not be silly. I don't want to subject myself to things like this. I may have subjected myself to things like that anyways, but a rook here, for example, is a little bit... Well, the rook there, I can always do this. No, actually, rook here is blunder. No, that's not good. Okay, that starts to go into the realm of why did you play that? You know, like, why did you do that? It starts to be a little bit. Let's go here. Attacking here. A rook here I take. Bishop here I just take check. This is terrible. Okay, defense like this. Defense like this. Now I can go here. Takes, only move. Well, not really. They can also push, and it's probably a draw. Probably, huh? I'm threatening this. Now they can take with the king. Now I can go here, maybe. Trying to go here. I don't dislike this too much. They can generate their own share of counterplay. That's probably a very good move. But then I go here, maybe. They go here. Kind of screw low. Bishop here is actually very strong. But they go there. What? Now this wins a tempo for me. Quite important as well. Not sure what they plan to do. What are they planning to do? Not clear. Rook here, yeah, they can do that. Interesting. I don't know. What am I supposed to do here? Maybe a rook here, with the idea of going here and then checking and stuff. Check, I move, I think it's not bad. G4. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna go here, trying to go here. This wins a tempo for him, but at the other end, this is annoying. Really annoying. Really, really annoying. Their king is kind of stuck. A little bit. No? It's a very double-edged position. They're gonna get this pawn, I'm gonna get this pawn. They're gonna get an exposed king, my bishop gets hit with check. I mean with an attack, with a tempo. But see, this is not like that equal. This is not that equal. Also rook here, I have bishop here. What am I talking about? King here, I can always check them like this. And then go here anyways. Defending everything from here. And it's brutal. It's brutal. That's brutal. I may not even be losing that that pawn, really. So I'm just keep the game going, keep the pressure going. I feel like, yeah, I finally find this idea. Now I have to be careful. I can play this. This is a little bit tricky because on this I take the bishop. And can he keep the diagonal? Not sure. This doesn't keep the diagonal. But it keeps everything together. So I go here, they go here. Check here. Not super obvious how I'm supposed to like deal with this. I don't know. Just gonna go here, keep it flexible. Bishop here does nothing this time. Rook here, I just go here. Whoa. Whoa. But now I can finally feel confident into playing this, I guess. And maybe there are even better moves here. But okay, I'm gonna get rid of this weakness. Check, I just move. Grow some balls, I guess. But I may be losing actually here. I have to be extremely careful. Grow some balls may be the end of me. That sounds fine. Because if I go here, they go here. It's not clear. I am losing the bishop or something. But even worse, huh? Check here. Damn. I mean, I have these if anything, but yeah, I have these. I take here. Check, I move here. But what if they play h5? Start to become complicated. Maybe getting mated. I may be getting mated. Yep. It's probably a draw. I probably have to go here in the corner. Check here. The bishop's hanging. Check here. Oh, they played that. Interesting. That's very interesting. It's a very interesting move. Check. It's a very annoying one as well. Okay, it's time to collect this pawn. I don't know what they're about. It's time to collect the pawn. It's time to collect the pawn. No problems. Pawn takes, bishop takes. Rook check, I just go into the corner and it's a draw. No, I'm actually getting... Oh, no, it's not a draw. Oh, it's not a draw. Oh, I'm getting mated. Oh, I blundered, I think. Oh, I think I severely blundered. Wow. I blundered, yeah. I blundered. Yep. Rook check, I cannot go into the corner because they check me again, and then it's mate. Oh, I blundered. I managed to blunder this endgame. It's checkmate. Can go here, can go, yeah. Terrible. Check here, mate. So after check, I have to go here forced, but then check. I have to go here forced. And then they just take. And, well, that's a problem. No, actually I can take perhaps. And if they take, I check and I win this. But they're gonna have some intermediate move for sure. For sure. They can also just take here now that I think about. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, that's terrible. That's so bad. Yeah, they take there. Okay, I'm gonna go here, trying to hold on. Wait, I can take. I'm not dead yet. I am not dead yet. Now I am. Okay, nice. That was a little bit of a pity because it was obviously super equal, if not slightly better for me, but I completely screwed it. So, let's see if I follow the repertoire though. Am I playing with white pieces? Yes. Yeah, no, I didn't follow even the repertoire, but maybe my opponent played something so weird they went out first, which is actually likely, so... Let's see, Reti, browse 3, let's see. So knight f3, c5, g3, knight c6. So knight f3, c5, g3, knight c6, bishop g2, so bishop g2, g6, and here c4, of course c4, of course. Bishop g7, castle, Nope, knight c3. Knight c3. Knight c3. But maybe we transpose, because they played e6. On e6 there is h4. Ah. Yeah, so I went out of the repertoire here. I went out of the repertoire. Yeah, I completely went out of the repertoire. c4 would have been, I know you can't see this, but Solon's repertoire. Solon's repertoire. So, okay. And after bishop g7, knight c3, right? Yeah, you're delaying castling, and on e6, there is h4. This is crazy. So, guys, you can see this. Yeah, I just blundered in the end. Rook h7 was a blunder. It was just equal forever. Very annoying. Very annoying. Very annoying. I mean, I knew it was equal. There were easier way to like equalize, like trading rooks, for example, at many moments, but I wanted to win, and I just couldn't. So here, what I'm trying to say is, you can see this, I think, c4, bishop g7, and here on e6 there is h4. That's the idea. So you are delaying castling because of this reason. Instead, I immediately play castle, and here just equalizing. He just equalizes. We both played quite well, I would say. It's fine. Yeah, we both played the perfect chess. What you were going to do, and then I blunder in the end. That's the idea of delaying castle. Okay, so repertoire not respected. On move 1. Okay. And in the end, rook h7 is a blunder. And that's it. So I'm gonna save this. Okay, I played quite a few games. How long has been this video? 2 hours and 18 minutes. Okay, let's say that we can end here. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your chess.